everyone, Katie here from Thrift Your Heart Out, and today I'm coming at you from inside of my closet. I've had so many requests to do a closet tour that I thought it was about time that I delivered on that. So we're going to be taking a look around my studio apartment closet, and I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on how to organize on a budget. I use a lot of stuff from the Dollar Tree and of course the thrift store, so maybe you guys can use them in your own closets, and of course I'll be showing you my massive collection of thrifted clothing that I have. So without further ado, let's get to the tour. Alright guys, so welcome to the inside of my closet. It's about time that I show you kind of how I break it down and how to make it work best for me. But of course, there's always different ways that you can organize it to make it work for you. Alright guys, so if you remember from my original apartment tour, my closet faces the family room, or kind of the living area. So I leave the doors open so that anybody out there can look inside and see my closet, because you know what? I'm proud of it and I love it and it makes me happy. So with that, I have to make sure that everything is really organized and looking good, because I don't want to be embarrassed by my closet. I want to show it off. So I found that even though the Roy G. Biv or kind of color organizing way looks really cool, it's just not functional for me. So I much prefer to organize things by sleeve length. So we'll see in my closet that I have things organized by tank tops or sleeveless shirts, short sleeve shirts, 3/4 length sleeve shirts, and then long sleeve shirts. And it makes it really easy to make a quick decision when the weather is really hot. I know that I'm not going to want those long sleeve shirts. I'm going to immediately want to look at the sleeveless shirts. So it just makes it really fast and functional for me to get ready in the morning. So from the shirts, I go directly into my skirts actually. So I have it organized by mini skirts, knee-length skirts, and then midi skirts or longer here. And I found this to be really functional because, again, just depending on the weather, I can decide if I want to wear a longer midi skirt or wear a mini skirt with tights, and I can just look really quickly and know what I have available. So next up is my rather large selection of dresses, and let me just show you just how many dresses I have. So it goes from this section here all the way down here. So to say that I love dresses would be a bit of an understatement. You guys know that they're just such an easy thing to throw on. You can find them in so many different prints and fabrics, and they're really easy to come by at the thrift store. So you'll see that I've organized everything by sleeve length again. So I've got sleeveless dresses up here at the front, short sleeve dresses here toward the middle, 3/4 length sleeve dresses, and then long sleeve dresses at the back. And again, this just works really easily to make a decision when you're getting ready in the morning, and then it also just looks really nice on display. So the last items that are hanging up in my closet are going to be my collection of jackets. So I've got some denim jackets here, some black jackets, leather jackets that I totally love and wear all the time, and then also a lightweight trench that I can use really easily at this time of year for those days when it's raining or just when you need a little extra coverage outside. So that's going to cover what's hanging in my closet, but now let's move on to the shoes. So for my shoe collection, I actually had to play around with a few different combinations before settling on what I have now, but it's working out really well. So I'm glad I kind of decided to go with this, and it'll be really easy to change around in the future if my needs change. So what I decided to go with was using some bins as well as some shoe holders to store all of my different types of shoes. So you guys will see behind me here, I have all of my sneakers in these dollar bins from the Dollar Tree. They're amazing, they actually hold up really well. And what's great is that I can stack them on top of each other. So even though I only have one shelf, I can start building up to give myself more storage room. And since I can't fit every type of shoe into those storage boxes, what I did was take all of my booties and put them kind of off to the side on display. And it seems to be working out pretty well. The weather is about to change, so I don't think I'll be reaching for those as much. So it might be a good time to kind of reevaluate and see if those can be moved to a different place. So you guys have seen how I store my booties and sneakers, but let me show you how I store my heels and sandals. So I keep all of my heels and flats stored on the floor of my closet using these shoe holders. And I found one at Target, and then I was lucky enough to find a matching one at the thrift store. So I love them because they keep everything nice and upright and organized, but then it's just cute to be able to see all of your heels out on display. So at the end of all of my other shoes, I've got a couple of bins from the Target dollar spot that I use to hold all of my sandals. And it's kind of hard to store them otherwise, but I find that this works really well because it keeps them nice and collected. In addition to all of my shoes on the floor of my closet, I also have a bin for hangers and a foldable stepping stool. So I wanted to make sure to show you guys how I store things like belts and hats and scarves and bags. So I use these bins that I got from Big Lots, but they're easy to come by at the thrift store as well. And then I just clip some chalkboard labels to them so I can easily identify what's inside. So the other main component to my closet is this built-in shelving unit behind me, and it was definitely a selling point for this space because there's not a lot of options for storing my things, so this has become kind of multifunctional as a space to store my clothes as well as some of my extra necessities for around the apartment. And it just looks really cool. I kind of love that it has this open space here that I can share all of my favorite things with everyone, and then it's got 4 drawers on the bottom, and then all of these shelves up here on top that I can use it to store pants and shirts and things that don't necessarily need to be hung up, but things that I use on a regular basis. Alright, so let's open it up and look inside. So since this cabinet is literally right next to my bathroom, I use that very top shelf for extra things like tissues and soap and toothpaste and all of that. And then if we go to the next shelf, I have some light sweaters that I keep out all year round. And then I have some button-up shirts and chambray shirts that I use pretty often. And then I also have some towels that I keep out so that I can easily get to them. So the next shelf has all of my pants on it, and the first section there has my ever-growing collection of leggings and a couple of pair of shorts. And then in the middle I have my printed pants and colored pants, and there's kind of no rhyme or reason as to how they're organized, they're just kind of all in a stack. And then the last section there has all of my jeans. So it should come as no surprise that my collection of striped shirts is the biggest, so that's what I have there at the bottom so I can get to them easily. And then the middle has these graphic tees that I use on a pretty regular basis. And then the end has some dresses and skirts that I can actually fold so it doesn't take up room on my rack. So of course I thought it would be a little bit weird to show you guys my lingerie drawer, so we're going to be skipping that and moving right on to my pajama drawer, which is the second one there. So I use these really cool tension separators that I found on ultra clearance at Target, but they're great because they can fit a whole bunch of different sizes of drawers because they have that tension in them, and then you can kind of move them around to suit all of your different sizes of items that you have. So I just kind of use them to create 3 different sections here for all of my things that I wear to sleep. So you guys can see that I have t-shirts over there on the left side, and I'll leave a link to a video that shows how to fold them up really compactly like I did there. And then the middle holds all of my pajama bottoms that I wear, so I have a mixture between full-legged ones and then more capri styles for the warmer weather. And then the right has pajama sets toward the back and then nightgowns toward the front because it gets really hot here in Sacramento and I wear those all summer long. So unfortunately I wasn't able to find too many of those tension separators at Target, so I decided to use these IKEA separators that are really great because they kind of slot into each other, so again you can totally customize them for what you need. So this drawer is used for more kind of casual clothes, my socks, things that I just don't wear as often. So I've got some black t-shirts there at the back, and then I've got striped and white tank tops that I wear under things there in the front. And then I've got all of my socks there in the back one in the middle. And then all of my black tank tops in the front, which I wear literally on a daily basis. It's crazy how often I go through those. And then I've got some hoodies there in the back on the right, and I actually do wear those through the warmer months for those kind of chilly evenings. And then I've got kind of graphic tees and casual t-shirts that I wear when I'm hanging around the house. So you'll see in my bottom drawer here that I'm using those IKEA separators again, and if I can remember the name of them, I'll leave them in the description below because they are seriously amazing and less than $5, so you guys need to get some. So this is kind of a hodgepodge of a drawer. It just kind of holds odds and ends. But I wanted to show you that I lined the bottom of my drawers with contact paper. I just think it makes it look a lot nicer. So you'll see in here that I've got some tank tops there in the back, and then I've got some slippers there in the front. I just figured those shouldn't be out on display for everyone to see, so they made their way to this drawer. I've got some more graphic tees there, and then some workout gear that does not get used as often as it should. I know, shame on me, that's terrible. So then over on the right here, I've got a little drawer full of extra jewelry that I just don't reach for as often, but I just can't bear to part with it, so I keep it in here. And then I've also got some extra sunglasses. In addition to the functionality of my closet, there's also opportunity to share decorations that I found at thrift stores and garage sales and bargain places. So that's part of the fun of having this kind of space, is that yes, you can show off your clothes, and yes, it's a place that you come to get ready in the morning, but it's also a place that I want to make fun and kind of an oasis for myself. So let me show you some of my favorite decorations from my closet. So this is the shelf up above my necklaces, and it's not terribly functional, so I decided to just put a few fun things out on display, like my friends Cuckoo and Cray Cray that you might remember. They're right next to my curler can, which I got at the antique store, and my last name is Curler for any of you that don't know, so of course I had to get it. And then I also have these vintage purses out on display. Beneath that shelf are all of my chunky necklaces that you guys know that I love, and I decided to organize these by color just to make it easy when I'm getting ready in the morning to match them to my outfit. So this area of my closet is definitely one of my favorites. I love the little collection of books with the vintage handbag and gloves there on the bottom. And then of course I love that picture of Audrey Hepburn that I found at a rummage sale, and the dress form that I found at Goodwill. It's so cute. Alright you guys, well I hope you enjoyed seeing a tour of one of my favorite places in the world. I just love my closet and I love sharing it with people, and I hope I gave you a few ideas that you can use in your own closet at home. And as always, thanks for watching and happy thrifting. Bye!